Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. So today I want to do my full review on the EMP EDC Pulse OTF. I know there's a lot going on in the name there, but this thing is awesome. I really love this OTF. And before I get into it, I just want to mention that I've never really been a fan of OTFs. I guess I just haven't found the right one. But there's a lot of moving parts. I don't like that blade wiggle when it's out. But it's kind of necessary for the design, unless you have the deadlock. Now, I've handled a lot of OTFs, especially at Blade Show shows. My friends have a few, my brother has a couple, and I did end up picking up this one. This is the Boker Quaken OTF, and honestly, the only reason I bought this was because of the blue. I just think it's a really pretty blue, and I believe it was on sale, so that definitely helped. Now this is a good OTF. I don't know, it's not something I'm really in love with. However, the EMP EDC Pulse OTF is, I love it. So I have my notes here, so if you guys see me looking off to the left, it's just to guide me. So we're going to start off with the action on this thing. The action is amazing. I think it's perfect. It not only does it launch out hard, but even when it retracts into the aluminum body, I mean it hits hard in a good way. So it just feels solid and really well built. So the action I love. Let me see if I can get this on the mic for you guys. So if it's not picking it up, it hits hard, and it just sounds really good in person. And another thing I can do with this, and I can't do it with any other OTF, I probably have a weak thumb, but the action is very fast. I can't do that with any other OTF. I'm not saying I've tried all the OTFs, but I've tried a lot, and this is really the only one I can do that with. Very addicting, very fidgety. I love the action on this thing. Lots of good things to say about the action. Now there is one thing I want to do for you guys, and probably some of you are going to cringe, but the only reason I'm doing this is for you guys. So I just want to show you guys something. If the blade fails, so I'm going to fail it here on purpose. I'm going to try to hit the back end of it. Okay, so you can see right there it's failed. So nothing works right. Here's the cool part, and I've done this quite a few times for my own personal testing. So if this happens, all you got to do is just make sure it's back into it, or back into the chassis. Just give it a good whack, and that thing flies right out, and you're back in business. So if anything happens, let's say whatever, it deploys in your pocket for whatever reason, just make sure it's back in and just give it a good swing away from you, and that awesome action is back. Moving on to the design of this thing, I think it's beautiful, very simple, very subtle. You do have a curved section here where the blade shoots out, and some knocked off corners. You do have a nice, slightly contoured aluminum body here, and I think that helps a lot in the ergos. Very comfortable in hand. Just fits well in my medium to large size hand. And the milling on this aluminum body is just beautifully done. I'm going to get you guys a close-up for that. But you have beautiful milling, and the coating, I don't know exactly what the coating is, but it's just beautifully done, and it's very tough. I've had this in pocket for about 2 weeks and some odd days. I've had my keys next to it, which obviously are metal. They haven't really damaged the coating, which I think is awesome. So really strong coating. And the logo here it's a bit on the large side. I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit smaller, but it's not an issue. I think it's great where he put it. So he put it on the pocket clip side, leaving this show side beautifully just one chunk of milled aluminum. Obviously you have the hardware, but just really clean, very well done, and very tasteful, if you will. Next up, I want to talk about the materials. So the whole chassis is high grade aluminum. I forgot which one it is. It's the 60. I'll put it up on screen. I just can't think of it at the moment, but it's the good stuff. So really, really good aluminum chassis. And then also one thing I like that John chose for the pocket clip and button is titanium. So you can anodize this any color you want, which I think is great, which is what I'll be doing. So excited for that. And honestly, it doesn't matter what color I pick because any color goes good with black. So really, really happy that he went that route. At first I thought the hardware was titanium, but it's not, it's just steel, which you can still heat anodize, but I figured out a way to make these black, and I'll let you guys know what I did to go about that when I customize this. Next up, we are going to look at the blade. So we have a MagnaCut steel blade with a really, really nice satin finish. I'll get a nice close-up for you guys so you guys can see this, but we have a beautiful hollow grind. It's not too tall, but it still performs very, very well, cutting through all sorts of things. I do have some footage of me cutting through some cardboard, so I'll show that. But I do really love the satin finish. I love the swedge on the top and on the front. And another thing I really like about the spine of the blade is the jimping. So the jimping really allows you to put a nice purchase with your thumb on top, obviously giving you better grip, but it just feels really good on the thumb and allows you to get those push cuts when you're cutting through whatever it is you're cutting through. And it just slices right through. Again, very, very sharp. I haven't even sharpened it or stropped it, so still very, very sharp. And I've been carrying it for over 2 weeks, so couldn't be happier with the blade steel. Next thing I want to talk about is the shape and size. I love the size of this knife. I think it's perfect. Fits great in hand. I do have a ruler with me. So closed length, we're looking at around 4.5, maybe just a tad over. And then full length, we're looking at 7.5. So I think it's the perfect EDC size. And another thing I really, really love about this thing is I love that it's wide. So it's about the same thickness as my Quaken here. So maybe just a hair thinner, but again, the width is what I really like. So you can see maybe a 1/4 inch thicker or wider, sorry. I love that it's wide because I think that helps in the ergos department. Just fills the hand very, very well. And since I'm talking about ergos, there's really no hot spots. I mean, the button kind of is, but like, honestly, it's out of the way. It's really not an issue, especially when I'm choking up or putting my thumb on the jimping. Ergos are great. Before I forget, I want to mention that. But the width, I love the width. I love that it's slightly contoured. Shape and size, I think is perfect. Now moving on to the things that I don't like about this, which isn't even really much. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I don't like that OTF's the blade wiggles. Again, it's part of the design. I completely understand that. I just don't like that they have to do that, unless again it's the deadlock. But this one I don't really mind. And I think it's because, well, not only do I love the whole design and the look and the action, which definitely helps, but I don't mind it because it's not that bad. It really doesn't wiggle that much. So if you're not a fan of it like I am, I think you'll be able to get past it as I did, but I guess it's preference. Let's just do that. Let's preference. So another thing is when the blade is closed, there is a bit of a rattle side to side. I'll see if I can pick it up on the mic. Now it's not terrible. It's just something I've noticed. And in pocket, since I've had this in pocket for 2 weeks now, it never caught my attention, so it doesn't rattle to the point where you can hear it in pocket, if that makes any sense. But I mean, if you really shake it side to side, you can hear it. I guess I had to nitpick something because I love this thing so much. Those are the two things that I don't really like, but not that big of a deal. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous video, or maybe I have, or maybe I haven't. But anyways, earlier this year, I went on a trip to Yellowstone, and I went on the Mary Lake hike. It's a 20-mile hike. It killed me. But I took my EMP EDC Ronin, which I love that knife. It was one of my favorite folders. I even customized it. I do have a video of it up. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put it up in the corner. But I ended up losing that knife. Just a great Tonto. Same milling on the titanium. And it killed me that I lost it, but there's nothing I can do. However, this Pulse OTF makes up for it, since it's very similar in the sense of the milling and kind of the blade shape. I mean, this isn't a Tonto, it's a reverse Tonto. But really, really sad that I lost my Ronin, but made up for it with this thing. So love it, love it, love it. And really quick, I just want to say, on the next run, I don't know if John's going to watch this or not, but I think it would be really cool if he sold just the show side plate, if that makes any sense, like different options, different colors or materials. I think that'd be cool if he just sold that piece. I mean, I'll probably end up buying another one of these, but if it comes in a different variation, but I think it'd be cool if he just sold that show side. Let me know down below if you guys think that would be a cool idea, or if you guys agree with me or don't agree with me. But just to swap it out, since it is black, I mean, whatever color you choose as a replacement, I think it would go very well with it. That's just an idea I had. I think it would be really cool. And if that's not possible, I was thinking maybe on the next run, different color variations. Maybe a nice pretty blue like the Boker here. Maybe like a dark purple. Or I was even thinking like an OD green, or really dark military green. I think would look good on this. Really, really good. I guess since it is an OTF, it's ambidextrous. That's the word. But even left-handed, I can do it no problem. However, the pocket clip is only right side carry. So maybe a different kind of style for the pocket clip. Maybe install it on the top where you can just swap it over to the left. Just an idea. But then again, that doesn't bother me because I'm right-handed and this works perfect for me. By the way, pocket clip works great in pocket. Forgot to mention that. And the beautiful milling matches the aluminum. But other than that, again, I think this OTF is perfect in my opinion against other ones, because I've been trying for the longest time to find the right one, and I'm glad I gave this one a chance. If you guys are looking for an awesome OTF, I highly recommend the Pulse. I love it. I know I'd said it 1,000 times in this video, but I really, really love this knife. As always, you guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you guys on the next one.